Hello YouTube, this is Fear the Ghost once again, and today I actually have for you more Shaddoll Hero replays. The ones we've seen so far are Shaddoll Hero Game 2, or Game 1, and Shaddoll Hero Game 2. The videos we will be watching today are probably Shaddoll Rage 1, Shaddoll Rage 2, and Shaddoll Hero Game 3. So let's get right into it. First up is Shaddoll Hero Rage number 1. As you can see here, I have yet to change the deck. I actually did change the deck before, I believe it's video number 5. Over here, our opponent is playing, I guess a synchro deck, maybe? Yep, apparently it's a synchro deck. Looks like it's made, I don't know if it's made to go double Quasar or what it's actually made to do. I didn't really get to see very much of it. So I start off by setting my Fencing Fire Ferret. He sets a trap stun. So that's actually not going to really help him at all against this deck, because if you don't remember, currently we are running 3 traps. I actually did increase, I believe I increased the trap amount later. So he sets Aisha the Frost Vassal. If you don't know what this card does, if I have 2 or more cards in my spell or trap card zone, my opponent gets to special summon it from his hand. And since I wasn't setting any cards, well, I wasn't setting any spells or traps, he just went ahead and set it. And he actually he just started setting stuff to get out of his hand, such as these 2 E-Tellies. And he actually makes TG Hyper Librarian. I thought he was going to try and make another play afterwards, but he didn't. And I chose not to drop the Veiler. Now here's where things get interesting, where stuff actually starts to happen. So first off, I mass change into Acid. So he just changed cards, and he actually summons this guy. His name is Mental Seeker, and what he does is he's basically, well, what he does is you E-Telly it, and then it gets banished during the end phase. So what happens is this little guy will banish himself, and then he will look at the top 3 cards of my deck and banish one of them. And he has 2, so he could have gone double off in this turn. So it's actually a really good thing I chose to do it at this point. And here I actually made a misplay. I was going to use the AD Changer in Beast in my hand to create Midrash, but create Nephilim, but I accidentally chose Midrash. But I used Dragon to kill the other Seeker, and then I get Volcanic Shell off. And he actually quits here. Now, I'm actually really glad for the misplay I did, because if I summoned Nephilim, he would have just been able to Dark Hole, wait up my entire field, and then he would have still had options. He would have been able to make some kind of play, because, well, I mean, he's got Birdman. So, I'm pretty sure he could have managed something. But next up, we have Rage 2. Now, over here, as you can see, my opponent's playing, it looks like he's playing Cyber Dragons. He seems to be playing some sort of Super Poly Cyber Dragon thing. I'm not sure exactly what he's trying to do with it. But he's main decking Sargasso's Lighthouse without having the field spell, but whatever. And so to start off, I actually normal summon the Shaddoll Falcon in attack mode on purpose. So he goes to MST my Mass Change second. I chain it, discard a Beast to special summon Darklaw. Now, honestly, once again, I've also seen a forum on the actual, I've also seen a forum on DevPro's help thing about someone else talking about Mass Change second and how they feel that it should special summon the Shaddoll sent, and I feel the same way. but apparently it's not, or at least not currently. It actually adds this. Now, this guy obviously did not read Dark Law because he added it off of Duality. If you're forgetting what Dark Law does, what Dark Law actually did was, my opponent over here, he added a card from his deck to his hand, and once per turn when my opponent does that, I get to banish one random card from their hand, so that's why it got banished. I actually activate the Needle's Bug Nest, and so I get to send Beast and add a Shaddoll, and so I get the draw off a Beast, and I draw a Falcon. So he gets Cyber Dragon, he flips Y, I don't know why he flipped it first, and activates Dark Hole, so I special summon Falcon. He does get to kill me, and I actually draw into the Shaddoll Fusion, so I summon Gristal, and kill his Cyber Dragon. So it's his turn, and he sets a damage gate, which caught me really off guard later. So he summoned Beast face down, and I activate the other Volcanic Shell. It activates damage gate, so he ends his turn, and I activate the Needle Ceiling. I add Fusion and set Falcon back. So I draw. I flip Shaddoll Beast. I make another Dark Law. I make a Gristal and special summon Falcon back. And I hit him for 24 and 2450 and end my turn. Now, the reason why I say that this was a rage quit was because pretty much anything where you don't finish, where you quit out during the duel without just finishing it, I honestly consider a rage quit, because that's you leaving because you got annoyed that you were losing. So that's why I consider a rage quit. Anyway, here's another game. I'm actually versus vampires, which I honestly couldn't care less about. So first thing I do is send Lizard and send Beast, so I get to draw. And so instead of facing Shadow and Shaddoll Falcon, I send Hedgehog, flip Falcon, special Beast, add for Hedgehog. And he actually is playing this card, which isn't bad. Skull Conductor. If you don't know what he does, you can actually send him to the graveyard to special summon up to 2 zombie type monsters whose combined attack is exactly 2000. So it's not that bad in vampires. I mean, you do have to have exactly 2000, but I mean, it's not that bad. But he does make one mistake here. He actually uses the Vampire Kingdom to destroy Shaddoll Beast and net me a +1. But he does get his Vampire Grace down there. Now, I'm actually really liking the new Shaddoll Fusion card, because, well, for one, you can activate both it and the regular Shaddoll Fusion. This is L Shaddoll Fusion. But it gets you more cards. It gets you more cards that allow you to fusion before you'd be playing Super Polys in hopes you can create a fusion. Now, I actually do have Super Poly, as you can see here. To go to the battle phase and kill his Vampire Duke with my Nephilim. He normal summons this, he overlays for that, and I actually Super Poly Gristal, so I can set Falcon again. And it's my turn, I draw, I flip Falcon, special Beast, I activate AD Changer, flip Beast. Now my opponent actually does a little talking to me, and he tells me that he thinks that the way I have the deck is quite interesting, and he says that he likes how I have it. I actually go to defense just in case of Mirror Force, but he actually has the D-Prism, which I really don't care about, him D-Prisming Gristal over here, because I actually don't have any Shaddolls in my hand currently. So I just attack him with Beast and set Dragon. He does get to summon Duke, I wasn't going to let him special summon Duke, the other Duke, so I veilered him. He is going to get over Beast though, which I really don't care too much about. So I flip Dragon and bounces back row to his hand. It actually chains Bottomless, which is fine. So I run over his Duke. He draws into Shadow Vampire and has nothing else to do. So that's the end of the game. He said good game and left. So that wasn't actually... He actually surrenders. The other two quit. This is an actual surrender. He said good game and surrendered because one attack from Nephilim would end it. So he played all the cards he could. And actually, I'm just going to do Shaddoll Hero Game 4. I'm going to show you guys Game 5 and then what the current build of Shaddoll is. I believe this is the one that didn't take too terribly long. Well, anyway, how it starts off is I'm able to set El Shaddoll Fusion and a Fencing Fire Ferret. And I actually draw into Shaddoll Falcon, which is pretty good. And at any point I can flip Fusion. And over here, this guy has Magician's Circle, and I took one look at it, and my only reaction was, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Because all of these Shaddoll monsters are spellcasters, so I was absolutely ecstatic because this thing allowed me to set up some plays. And so I do what I said I was going to do. I summon Eggerstall, and apparently this guy can't read. Apparently people on... I guess just people in general can't read while playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because as almost everybody else, he tries to make an XYZ or Synchro or something and gets himself killed, and I net a plus, and I technically net a +1, and he flips a Torrential. I'm just like, I wonder what he's going to think when he watches all this. So I go add, send, destroy, set 3. Now, I do make a mistake here. I activate Facing the Shadows, and I don't activate Hedgehog's effect, which was stupid of me. So I set Needlebug Nest. It's his turn. I activate Needlebug Nest. I activate Falcon and Lizard. Lizard to send Hedgehog. Falcon to special summon himself. It activates Gagaga Shield. I'm not sure why. I actually add Beast. Special Nephilim. Use Nephilim's effect and Beast's effect. I destroy his supply unit. Now, oh my gosh. Just freaking... Literally, just this deck. You saw what happened. I'm doing this on my opponent's turn. Just the sheer amount of stuff you can do on both people's turns is insane. I actually get to special summon the Beast. Activate Volcanic Shell. Activate 80 Changer, flip Beast, draw 2 and discard. And I should have actually activated Mass Change here, but I actually wanted to summon Volcanic Shell so I could Super Poly Gristal. And I get Falcon back, and I put Beast in Grave for next turn. So I flip Falcon, special Beast, use 80 Changer, flip Beast, draw 2 and discard. And this is just a show of how fast the deck can actually be with all of these new quick play spell cards that we are getting. Between Mass Change second, El Shaddoll Fusion, just a couple of traps, and Super Poly itself, you can do enough stuff on your opponent's turn to just kind of mess them up. But anyway, in the next one, we will be looking at Game 5, and I will also show you the updated deck profile, which you will actually be seeing in Game 5. So, I'll see you guys once this video has finished uploading. So, have fun!